Do you love silly stories for kids? Why not consider joining our family? You can even get a very special message from one of your favourite silly stories for kids characters. Head over to the website to find out more. It's your support that helps us to continue to make exciting stories and more crazy content.
Did somebody say crazy?
Oh, Pim Pim, no. Pim Pim!
One day, 3 little girls named Holly, Aubrey and Brinley were all fast asleep in their beds, when all of a sudden they heard something. Knock, knock, knock. Holly sat up in her bed. Aubrey, did you knock? No, said Aubrey. Did you knock? No, said Holly. They thought. They both put their heads back down on their pillows. Knock, knock, knock. Aubrey, I can hear you knocking. It's not me, said Aubrey. But if it's not you, then... Oh, Brinley. Brinley, they said. There was no response. Knock, knock, knock. There it is again, said Holly. Holly jumped out of bed and raced over to the door of their bedroom. She opened it and looked outside, but there was nothing there. Knock, 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 knock. It's coming from the wardrobe, said Aubrey. What? Said Holly. Yeah, the wardrobe. Holly walked over to the wardrobe and slowly opened the door. Hello, said a voice. Ah! Said Holly as she ran back to her bed. What was that? From inside the wardrobe they could hear a voice. I am not a what? Oh my goodness, said Aubrey. She slowly climbed out of bed and moved over towards the door. She opened it carefully, and there, standing inside, was a purple, fluffy man. Hello, he said. What are you? Said Aubrey. I am not the what, he said. I am the Pim Pim. What's a Pim Pim? Said Holly. I am the Pim Pim, said Pim Pim, as he slowly stepped into the room. He walked around and had a good look at everything. Oh, this looks like fun, he said. Excuse me, what are you doing in our wardrobe? Said Holly. Don't be silly, little girl. I live in your wardrobe. You what? Said Aubrey. Yeah, I live in your wardrobe, but never mind that. Let's get up to some mischief, he said. It's actually the middle of the night, said Aubrey. I don't think we should be doing some mischief. Just then, Brinley woke up as well. Oh, hello, said Bryn. What are you doing in my room? Well, said Pim Pim, I have been hiding in your wardrobe for a little bit of time, but now it is the actual time. The actual time for what? Said Holly. Oh, come on, let's go see, said Pim Pim. He stepped out of the room. As he was walking off, they could hear a faint voice from inside the wardrobe. Pim Pim! Okay, we got to go, said Pim Pim. He slammed the wardrobe shut and quickly raced out of the bedroom. The girls were very confused, but they followed along just behind. Pim Pim, who was that other voice in the wardrobe? What voice? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't be silly, little girl. Okay, let's go. The girls were rather confused, but it was too late. They were already moving into the lounge room. Oh, said Pim Pim, I can see some very exciting things to do in here. Like what? Said Holly. Come with me, said Pim Pim. He walked over towards the kitchen. Is anybody else hungry? He said. A little bit, I guess, said Aubrey. Well, let's do some cooking, said Pim Pim. Cooking, said Holly. Mum doesn't normally let us do cooking by ourselves. Oh, but Mummy is not here, so okay, let's go. Pim Pim started racing towards the pantry, and when he got there, he started pulling out everything and throwing it everywhere. Pim Pim, said Aubrey. You can't pull things out like that. Yes, I can, said Pim Pim. You just watch me. Pim Pim started pulling out all the flour, the cooking equipment, the cornflakes, the Weet-Bix, the Vegemite, the everything. Oh my, said Aubrey. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Pim Pim raced around, grabbing everything and throwing it all into one giant bowl. When the girls looked at it, they saw all kinds of disgusting things. There was fish oil and Vegemite and vinegar and olive oil and... What is this? Said Aubrey. You'll see, said Pim Pim. He grabbed it. He mixed it up like a crazy man. Oh, said Bryn. This is very exciting, she said. This was the point where things got a little bit magical. Pim Pim grabbed the giant bowl, mixed it up and threw it into a pan. Then he chucked the pan inside the oven. Pim Pim, said Holly. The oven's not on.
We don't need to turn the oven on, he said. We do it the secret way.
The secret way, said Aubrey. What's the secret way? Pim Pim clicked his fingers. All of a sudden, the oven made a giant ding noise.
Okay, it's done, he said.
What's done? Said Aubrey. They opened it up, and inside was one of the most amazing looking cakes the girls had ever seen. Whoa, said Holly. How did you do that?
Do what?
The girls were very, very confused. Pim Pim pulled the cake out of the tin, cut it up into slices, and handed one to each of the girls. It was the most delicious thing they'd ever tasted, but they didn't know what it tasted like. What flavour is this? Said Aubrey.
Well, said Pim Pim, it is secret special flavour.
Wow, said Aubrey. This just tastes crazy. Just then, Pim Pim stopped, looked at Aubrey. His eyes got big, and he said,
Did somebody say crazy?
Then the most ridiculous thing happened. Pim Pim started to go nuts. As Pim Pim went nuts, he started racing around the room, bouncing off walls, flying around, smashing into everything. He knocked over the couch, he knocked over the chairs, he knocked over the table, he put holes in the wall, he smashed all the plants to the floor. Just then, Mummy and Daddy came racing out of their room. What's going on out here? Said Mummy. Whoa, said Daddy. What are you girls doing? Said Pim Pim as he bounced around, smashing into everything. Eventually, he slowed down and stopped. What was that? Said Aubrey. Yes, said Holly. What did you do?
You must not say that word,
said Pim Pim. Say what word? Said Aubrey. Crazy. Holly threw her hand over Aubrey's mouth. Don't say it again. Oh, said Aubrey. But what are we going to do? Pim Pim, you've destroyed the entire house. Just then they heard a voice from inside their bedroom.
Pim Pim!
Uh-oh, said Pim Pim. What do you mean, uh-oh, said Aubrey.
Well, there's something that I have not told you.
What haven't you told us? Said Holly.
Well, you know that voice that you heard earlier?
Yes, said Aubrey.
That is my mummy, and I am in big trouble. Pim Pim!
Said the voice as it opened the bedroom door, and out stepped an old, fluffy lady. She had purple hair and green fur, and she said,
Pim Pim, you naughty little... Did you do this? How do you say, yes?
Said Pim Pim.
You better clean all this up,
she said.
Right now!
Okay, said Pim Pim. Pim Pim started to float around the room, and as he floated and danced, he clicked his fingers. And every time he clicked, something else would go back to where it was meant to be. He clicked and the tables flipped up the right way. He clicked again and the chairs were tucked in around the tables. He clicked again and the holes in the walls were all patched in. Wow, said Aubrey. I think there's something special about this guy. He went around clicking and clicking and clicking until everything was fixed.
Right, Pim Pim, you're coming with me, said his mummy. Oh no, please don't get me into the trouble, said Pim Pim.
But it was too late. Pim Pim was in very big trouble.
You are getting 300 smacks on the bottom,
said his mummy, and she grabbed him by the hand.
Goodbye, girls. Goodbye, girls, said Pim Pim.
Bye, Pim Pim, said Holly. Bye, Pim Pim, said Aubrey.
That was fun,
said Brinley. You come back, she said.
Oh yes, I will definitely be back, said Pim Pim.
Ah! said his mother as she dragged him off back into the wardrobe and down a tiny little hole in the bottom. Mummy and Daddy were standing there extremely confused, looking at the girls. Girls? What just happened? Well, said Holly, you wouldn't believe us, even if we told you. So they cut a slice of cake for everyone and sat and had a midnight cake feast and all went back to bed. And that is the end of the story.
Hello. Today's story has been brought to you by Pim Pim's Magic Cupcakes. The only cupcakes that give you so much fun that you cannot help but go Oh, I better not say it. But we hope that you have liked our story. For more information, head over to www.sillystoriesforkids.com. We hope that you will leave a comment and subscribe to the podcast so that we know that you love us. Or maybe you don't love us, but we hope that you love us. And we'll see you for the next story. This is me, Pim Pim, and May Sam. Bye-bye.